Namaskar, Deepika ji. I welcome you on this small little podcast of ours for Global Menopause Collective. For the good of the audience, I've got somebody very, very special joining us from all the way from Bangalore. Deepika Gupta ji. She is a NLP practitioner. She's a practicing psychologist. She's a grief counselor, art and dance therapy practitioner, and above all, a Bharatanatyam dancer. So thank you so much for joining us on this small little podcast of ours, Deepika ji.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rekhi, for actually having me here. It's an honor.
Absolutely. Before we get down to the bigger aspects that we intend to discuss in this podcast, I would want to know what led you from psychologist to an NLP practitioner, a grief counselor, varied experiences here.
So, all of this, whether it is NLP, whether it is grief, everything is a part of psychology, right? NLP is just trying to understand how language, see, NLP, it's neuro linguistic programming, right?
Right.
How our brain can change with our language, how we can feed in a lot of positive language to it and reframe and rewire the way our brain works. Right? So that is something very, very important if you think about positive psychology. So grief is a topic which is quite close to me. When I lost my grandmother as a child, I couldn't understand what grief is and why is everyone, crying and again talking about her. Why is there so much about, rituals, etc. So then I started reading about it and I felt that, grief counseling is something, or let's say grief is something that is not very well understood by most of us. Right. So grief is always told to us is, you lost someone by death and that's grief. That's not only grief. Grief is varied. You lose a job, you can grieve. You have a breakup, you can grieve. You move from one city to another, you change schools, you can grieve. So I felt this is something very important to understand and for, people to understand. So that's how I chose grief. Coming to art and dance, well, being a Bharatanatyam dancer, I wanted to integrate my two passions, which is psychology and dance. And I attended a few workshops also on dance movement therapy as a participant. And I felt my body spoke more, in that session than I could ever speak verbally. Words could never do justice to the way my body did justice to me when I was doing dance. So that's how I, kind of combined all of this together into my psychology field.
Wow, wonderful! What a beautiful way of expressing your journey, Deepika ji. Moving on to you've been counseling people, you've been an NLP practitioner yourself. What are the different issues with which women come to you seeking counseling, especially during this perimenopause phase?
So before I get into that, I will just take a few minutes of yours and explain what is perimenopause. Because a lot of us understand what menopause is, but we don't understand what perimenopause is. Right? So menopause as such is that one point in time. It's not a journey, full long journey. It's at one point of time when a woman has not had her periods for a period of 12 months.
Right.
Now the journey to menopause, right? It's like, when your body starts changing gears for some big shift. That is perimenopause. It's a transition phase. And this transition phase acts, here the hormones basically, they start acting really erratic. It's not even a steady decline. I wish it was, but it's like, spike one day, crash the other day, normal the third day, and then the whole weird cycle keeps going on. So that's
Hmm.
perimenopause. And yes, as you asked me about, women coming for counseling during perimenopause. So a lot of women come here. Why? Because this life stage, it's like a perfect storm. Rikichi,
Hmm.
there's biological changes, there's psychological changes, there are even social changes. Women
Absolutely.
start feeling that, everything is falling apart. They're not able to recognize themselves. So that's why they come seeking. So let's talk about hormones, right? As
Hmm.
we know that hormones starts to fluctuate
Hmm.
during this perimenopause stage,
Right.
right?
Right.
Now, hormones are not only affecting our body, it's
Hmm.
affecting our brain as well. So we
Hmm.
have, new or intensified anxiety. We have strange emotional reactions. We have bursts, burst outs. Like emotionally, we just burst out at times. There's rage. There is low mood. And then there is brain fog. So, this is a time when we feel our emotional responses are not the same anymore.
Right.
This is not how we
Right.
used to be anymore. So, women want to seek help. At
Hmm.
the same time, a lot of our old coping strategies stop working. पहले क्या होता था?
Hmm.
What used to happen was when we would feel tired, we would just go and rest,
Hmm.
take a good night's sleep, and
Hmm.
get up refreshed. But
Right.
now somehow this doesn't happen.
This does not help.
No.
Rest alone does not help.
Yes. It's like, you get up and you're feeling tired again.
Again,
Yeah.
yes. And
And
that's what you're wondering, that what's going wrong? I mean, what am I doing wrong?
exactly. Did I not sleep
Yeah.
properly? Did I
Yeah.
not sleep on
Yeah.
time? What happened? Right.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
women very good at emotional suppression before perimenopause.
वो तो है
And
ही है, that's of course there.
अब वो चला
That has
जाता है.
been inbred. नहीं, that has been inbred into world over. I've been speaking to women from all over the world, and it's the same story everywhere. It's the
Because
same story. So it's not only
yes,
that in India we are suppressing our emotions and we are shy of asking for help. We
absolutely.
don't come out, seeking assistance. It's
Mm,
world over. So I
yeah,
think women have been designed
mm,
like this, that okay, fine, this is your job and you do it but never ask for help. And
absolutely.
probably society all over the world has actually inbred this particular tendency into them.
True, true.
Yeah.
And suddenly this
That's
tendency is changing, Mr. Rekhi, in perimenopause.
so what
It,
happens here? I mean, what's changing?
again, because of this hormone thing, everything
Hmm.
is different for you. You're not
Hmm.
able to suppress your emotions anymore.
But
If
then
you're
the
angry, you're angry.
of course, and these outbursts
Yes,
are in the form of frustration,
yes,
but very less would you have a chance that very few people would have a chance that they'll accept it and then ask for help.
yes.
So that asking
Sadly,
for help never happens
never happens.
because you are construed as someone who's weak.
Yeah,
Your mother never, questioned or probably asked for help. How come you are doing that? Means there's something wrong with you.
exactly. See, you're questioning yourself, right? The
Yeah,
question
yeah, yeah.
comes ki, I could handle everything in life.
And
There
all
is
of a
nothing
sudden, I
missing
mean,
here.
I'm falling short of the yardstick.
ऐसा क्या हो गया? What has changed?
Yeah.
That I'm not able to handle myself, my emotions, everything around me.
So, Deepika ji, when somebody comes to you seeking assistance or seeking guidance or help,
Hmm.
at what stage are they? I mean, are they open? Because are they open to asking for counseling just because a certain they've entered a certain age, or they come to you with a set of questions and a set of problems?
Mm.
Are you expecting them to kind of come with a certain set of questions?
No, I just expect them to come and say, I'm not feeling myself. And
Myself.
sadly, Mr. Reiki,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
age is not defining their coming to seek counseling.
Hmm.
What is
Hmm.
defining and what is kind of, pushing them to seek
Hmm.
counseling is when they start experiencing these problems in their life. relationship problems.
Yes, absolutely. I
Children
was about to
start
say that.
sensing themselves. You start feeling that your equation with your children is not the same anymore. They
Yes.
come when they start experiencing body and self image issues. So they are coming when they have actually started facing issues and problems
The
rather than,
repercussions.
yeah. I wish they came
That's
when
very
they were at
important.
the age that, okay, now I'm somewhere near my perimenopausal age. I should go and seek counseling and understand what can I expect in the coming years.
Okay, so let's take this as a scenario
Hmm.
that women come seeking for help, whether to you, whether to somebody else, because they've started to see certain changes
Yes.
and they have fought these particular changes for a long time. Nothing really helped.
Hmm.
And now they succumb to the fact that, okay, this is something really I don't understand. Let's go and seek professional help.
Ji.
This is the present day scenario.
Ji.
And I think we have evolved in the past about 30, 40 years from our mothers and grandmothers who never even, you know, asked for
Tell.
help, even at this particular stage,
Yes.
versus something that we should be looking at in the future is that women are prepared
Hmm.
that something of this order will start to happen at my age 32, 35, 36. That's the peak of their careers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, what is the first point that we should be telling women as a part of an awareness drive, let's say, through this
Hmm.
podcast? What is that one single point that you would want to touch upon that, okay, when you start to have this feeling, don't
Hmm.
let your relationships go sour.
Yeah.
Don't wait for your children to start telling you, Mama, you're something different now.
Hmm.
Don't let your husband come and tell you that something's changed.
Yes. So see,
What's that one point?
yeah. So see, one is of course your age, right? When you are reaching
Mhm.
that age, you must start seeking help and asking. But
Mm,
many women are unable to do so. We're always
mm.
waiting for that one symptom, something to show up,
Trigger,
right? Some
trigger.
trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say when a woman starts questioning herself that I am unable to recognize myself as I used to be, or when she feels that she is reacting more and she's not able
Mm.
to recognize her reactions. I think that's one thing, and that's one stage or phase when she should seek counseling. Because,
Can we
yeah,
go a little deeper into this? Can you dissect it a little more from a normal layman's perspective? If I am supposed to be understanding your point here, would you be able to kind of draw out an outline for me?
hmm, hmm. So, as I said, Pelly cheese, the first thing is when you start questioning yourself, okay? If I
Mm,
have a question that why am I more emotional than usual? I was
mm,
not so emotional ever before.
mm,
Why do I feel so flat or so irritated all the time? My irritability is going up. Or, as I said, why am I not able to
fungible.
recognize my reactions? So, these are all when your hormones are, running your show now. It's not you who's running the show anymore. Now, also, when you start seeing changes in your body,
Mm,
there'll be weight shifts. You might gain weight, you might lose weight, right?
mm,
You might feel hot flashes, night sweats, right? Or exhaustion, which is beyond control. Like, even if you rest, as we discussed earlier, even if we have a good night's sleep, you're not feeling recovered.
mm.
Or yes, you start noticing some skin changes, some hair changes. These are all indications. Then, you know, um, when you start feeling that I'm forgetting things, Mr.
Mm,
Rekhi, this is something I also experienced. I am
mm,
in my perimenopausal stage. I see this. I enter a room and I forget why I've entered the room, which
mm,
never used to happen. So if women are seeing these kind of changes in their, concentration level or in their memory, they must
mm,
seek help. Or when they start questioning that, or they feel bad that I don't have the same energy. So they start kind of grieving about this, that I don't have my old energy. I don't have my, that younger look. All of
let's
these.
let's let's draw up this point further.
Yes.
Grief.
Yes.
Let's draw up this point further.
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, grief is not only about losing someone by death. Grief is any major change, any loss of any kind. Here, when you're talking about perimenopause, right? Women are seeing, okay, let's talk about their relationship with their children, or let's talk about the relationship with their partners, right? Because of these
Mm,
personality changes or this hormonal fluctuation, they're misread as you've changed. Now, women is what? She's hearing from her husband, she's hearing from her partner, from friends, from children. You're not the same anymore.
right.
That's where the grief comes in. Why? Why am I not the same anymore? I wish I could go back to being my younger self. I wish I could go back to, being absolutely patient with my children. Grief. She starts grieving for that younger self of hers.
I know I'm not a grief coach, but
Yeah.
I'll have something to add to this. Another
Please,
layer, if I may.
please do.
Grief without a funeral. What is she grieving is, I'll tell you by an example. I've got a 11-year-old daughter, 6-year-old son.
Hmm.
She was barely 5 when my son was born.
Mm-hmm.
She started behaving like a mini mama to him out of out of a natural instinct. What was that natural instinct? Every woman is born with that motherly instinct.
True.
She always wants to have children, nurture life. She's born with that mechanism. Somewhere down the line, during this perimenopause and this whole stuff, she understands that loss of motherhood is approaching. She is grieving that.
Yes.
She is grieving the loss of a safe space. I'm sorry, I get a little emotional with this.
No. You putting it so wonderfully.
So she is grieving the loss of a safe space. Till now, every person, everybody, man or a woman, they understand that when I go back home, that's my safe space. Whether it's safety from the weather, whether it is safety from intruders, whether it is safety from the outside nonsense. And when she comes back into this house, it doesn't seem to be safe enough.
True.
Why? Because everybody is questioning her mental stability. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Mama? Why is she behaving like this? She was normal. And given all these aspects of brain fog and that inherent depression, she slides into this.
Yeah.
So you can well imagine, number one, she is grieving the loss of a safe space. She does not understand. Hey, what is all this? Her feeling not herself, her feeling that loss of containment is because of these aspects. Relationships start to fall apart. She is looking at everything falling apart around her.
Yes.
And she has no control. Abhi tak to, till last week, till 10 days back, everything was under control. What's happened all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And that loss of control is what she's grieving. So she is grieving a lot of things, and that grief without a funeral is actually getting on to. I'm sorry, Deepika ji, I get a little shaky with this.
No, no, thank you so much, actually, Mr. Rekhi, for putting this across, and you have beautifully explained it. That feeling of that you needed,
Yeah,
that starts to loosen.
that's a wonderful point. I'm going to write it down.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
because
wanted, you needed,
yeah,
you are approached for
yes,
validation.
yes,
Now it's you who's looking for validation from everybody
so true.
that I'm not mad. There's nothing gone wrong with me mentally. I'm still the same person. It's just that I don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
God.
Everyone around you is doubting you now. There'll be questions. Should I tell you this? Will you remember it? Oh, will you be able to do it? You're always tired, right?
एक और aspect है इसका.
Ji.
People want to empathize with you,
Mhm.
right? But they start to sympathize with you. आते वो empathy दिखाने के लिए हैं.
Mm.
But they end up, oh, look at you, you poor fellow.
True.
Oh, God, what's happening with your mom? Oh, God,
True.
what's happening with your wife?
Mm.
I feel so sorry for her. So even if she wants to stand up upright and say, okay, I'm still the strong woman, she starts to look at the world grieving. Ki, "Arey yaar, there's something gone wrong with you." And
No.
that slowly, subtly, I think that starts to settle in.
Yes. Yes. Actually, it's important for us to understand one thing here is periods ke bare mein, menstrual cycle, right? Puberty. All of this
Hmm.
is very well taught.
Very?
Very well taught, right? We're
Hmm.
teaching it in school. We're teaching children what puberty is.
Hmm.
But we're not teaching anyone what perimenopause is.
I have a different take about this,
Sure.
Deepika ji. Don't get me wrong.
No, no, please.
When we utter the word vagina,
Mm-hmm.
vulva,
Mm-hmm.
it is not supposed to be a, even for that matter, male genitalia. It is not supposed to be a dinner table conversation. It is supposed to be in the hidden corners of the house,
Yes.
spoken quietly. Menopause also is construed traditionally with the reproductive system. You stop having periods. You reach the end of your reproductive years. Again, reproductive.
Yes.
Somewhere you carry the same shadow of silence that you have carried forward from not discussing about your genitalia, not about your reproductive organs. The same shadow lingers on. And in so called cultured families, this is still not to be discussed on the dinner table. A
Absolutely.
man is not supposed to be bothered.
Yes.
What's his wife, what's his mom, what's his sister, and eventually his daughter is going to be going through.
True.
Not realizing that that loss of association with this is going to affect his family life. And it's never, Deepika ji, the man of the house. It's always the woman of the
Woman of
house.
the house. Sadly true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her energy dictates the energy of the house. If I come in a bad mood into the house, I'll scream, I'll shout everything. My kids will go and huddle up with my wife and say, okay, there's something's gone wrong. Papa's having a bad day. He'll
Mm.
settle down later.
Mm.
But if my wife starts to scream and shout, entire household, including the dog, is flustered. What's happening? Aaj kya ho gaya?
Very good.
Her energy gets, her energy drives
Mm.
this household, not my energy. So that concept of man of the house is all nonsense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Mr. Rekhi, one point you just spoke about, right, which was the end of the reproductive phase. I will just try, I mean, I would want to emphasize that this is another grief point. This is
Yes.
one more thing that women are grieving.
Yes.
Whether it is said aloud or not, the feeling that now we can't even have kids,
Loss of motherhood.
loss of
Yes.
motherhood, and people are told you don't have any value anymore. Women are told that because you cannot have children anymore,
Hmm.
because women associated with having children.
Traditionally, till the time a woman would have kids, she would be asked to do all the, you know,
Yes.
trivial jobs around the house. The moment she was a mother,
Mm.
especially mother to boys, I'm talking about the Indian society,
Mm.
traditional
Mm.
aspects. All these trivial jobs would get passed on to someone else
Mm.
because she has a boy to raise, she's got a child to raise. So
Mm.
automatically, that authority
Mm.
came with motherhood.
Mm.
Motherhood eventually led to grandmotherhood, again, a very authoritative sort of a figure in the house. And all of a sudden, that break in motherhood, that, okay, this will not happen.
Yeah.
Naturally, that loss of seniority, that loss of authority is being grieved here. So
Yeah.
internally, even if she does not realize, internally she grieves this. So yes, of
Yes.
course, grief without a funeral is very, very well established.
Yes. So, as we said, as we started, this loss of identity that women feel,
Yes.
this is what they are now grieving. Whether
Let's
said,
change the tone here. Let's change the
yes,
tone here. It's becoming a little heavy. Let's change the tone here.
sure.
I would want to. I'm sorry, Deepika ji. I took the liberty of, you know, kind of taking the other lane.
No, no.
Uh, as a Bharatanatyam artist, right? So अभी तक हमने क्या करा? We've discussed
Hmm.
about what goes on in perimenopause. We've dissected quite a lot of things with regards to the psychological aspects of it. But at the base of it, my question is,
Hmm.
what do you do about it? So now we're going to discuss what do we do about it, or how do you see that actionable point. One of the actionable points which I wish to discuss with you is, as a Bharatanatyam artist, how do you see this as a therapy form,
Hmm.
as a modality of therapy?
Hmm. So, I will not just say Bharatanatyam, I
Hmm.
will say dance.
Dance.
Because Bharatanatyam is also a form of dance, and how
Hmm.
dance is helping, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, look at dance as a rhythmatic pattern. It has rhythm.
Hmm.
Look at
Hmm.
dance which has music, right? Look at
Hmm.
dance which has breath.
Hmm.
Now, when we integrate all of this as a therapy,
Hmm.
so you have rhythm, right? Rhythmic movement, you have breath, you have a calming music. It helps women who are dealing with their perimenopausal symptoms to
Hmm.
regulate their mood and lower down their stress levels. Beating their
Hmm.
feet on the ground, moving their hands, moving their body, moving their face. All of it releases the stress, releases their that mood swing. Now, at the same time,
Releases that.
yes, yes.
Okay, so now let's go a little deeper into it. Releases how? What's the scientific explanation of what's actually happening?
Hmm.
What I kind of wish to explore is the modern day fascia release exercises. versus Bharatanatyam dance, which was actually taught to girls right from a very young age to kind of, accentuate their personalities and keep practicing so that, they don't feel a loss of identity and whatever we are facing right now at a later stage.
Hmm.
Is that exactly, am I making the bridge? Am I bridging the two things well here? Am I
Yes, you
making
are.
sense?
Yes, absolutely. See, let's talk about Bharatanatyam or any dance form. Okay, we'll talk about
Hmm.
Bharatanatyam first. Um, you need to have a posture, a perfect, balanced posture of your body to
Hmm.
begin with, right? Now, if you associate perimenopause stage, your
Hmm.
body is becoming weak,
Hmm.
right? Your
Hmm.
your bones are becoming weak. Now,
Hmm.
practicing dance or practicing Bharatanatyam,
Hmm.
it's giving you that structure again, that body balance again.
Hmm.
So, with the
Right.
body image that you were facing during this perimenopausal stage, through
Hmm.
dance or through Bharatanatyam or any dance form, you're gaining that back, right? And also, it helps those body changes that are happening with Bharatanatyam or any dance form.
Hmm.
Beating your feet on the ground, right? It's giving you energy. It's giving you that energy from the ground inside your body,
Right.
right? So
Right. Right.
the restlessness gets over with. That goes down. Fatigue, which is a mental fatigue,
Hmm.
goes down with this. And you feel more energized. Although you're feeling tired after dancing, but you feel more
But then
energized.
that's a refreshing tiredness, I would say, right?
Yes,
It's not tired, but it's
yes,
like, okay, that's going to lead you to something refreshing. You've
yes.
sweated it out. You've actually tapped your feet on the ground. You have had a lot of fascia release
Yeah.
exercises automatically drawn up. What
See,
about hand mudras?
yeah, I was just coming there only. See, just think about whenever we are feeling some emotion in our body, what
Hmm.
happens? Is it only our face that expresses it?
No,
No.
your
Yeah,
body stiffens up.
yeah. Or your hand gestures, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you are happy, you will be like, all
Yes.
over. Your hands will express it too.
Hmm.
When you're angry, you'll be like, you may make a fist, right?
Hmm.
When you're excited, again, your hand gestures change. So do you see how we are able to emote with our hands here? And we're taking out that energy also at the same time. When you are stressed and you keep doing this, just
Hmm.
letting your energy go out of your hand, you feel
Hmm.
relaxed.
Yeah.
So hand movement, leg
Hand
movement,
mudras,
everything is
feet
very
tapping,
important.
leg movements, and then of course you're sitting, and then kind of squatting, and everything. All those actions are actually happening
And the bhav, the expressions,
there.
which are a very important integrated part of Bharatanatyam or any dance form, right? Why did I say expression is important? Now I'll come back to perimenopause. We
Hmm.
are suppressing emotions, or we were used to suppressing emotions, or right now we're feeling angry that no one's recognizing us. Right now we're feeling frustrated that no one is understanding us. Through dance, through Bharatanatyam, we can express it out. We don't need words for it. We don't need a verbal language now anymore. We have a very,
You've already done your expression. You've already expressed it.
yes. So you see how
Wow.
important dance can be at this stage. And one more thing I would like to say here is it's not specifically, targeted to Bharatanatyam right now, what I'm saying. But dance as such during this stage will help you feel not alone.
Not alone.
Yes. It takes away that isolation, especially when you go for these dance movement therapy sessions,
Hmm.
while you're experiencing your perimenopausal symptoms, you see that there are, other women who are able to express the same thing.
If I may be allowed,
Yes, please.
I like to add another layer to it.
Mhm.
Specifically talking about Bharatanatyam. All these dance forms, they are associated with some deity.
Absolutely.
The performer actually actually gets into a trance
Meditative.
with the identity of that deity.
Yes.
And then you don't feel alone. You don't feel lost.
Mm.
Whether it is Radha Krishna, whether it is Shiva,
Mm.
whether it is Lord Kartike. So all these, if you see the way it has been kind of structured in our traditions, somewhere down the line they understood that a woman's natural journey will take her through these phases.
Yeah.
So they started preparing women from a very young age.
Mm.
And that's exactly what we are seeing right now.
So
What
beautifully
about
put. Yes.
breath? What about breath? So when basically you're stressed, you start to breathe shallow.
Yes.
But this exercise or this fascia release mechanism, which is in the form of a dance, this, in my opinion, this works as a natural pranayam for you.
Yes.
How
You're
do
able.
you feel? Do you feel exhilarated after this?
Absolutely.
Great, great.
So, we teach breathing exercise as a part of calming down your nervous system, right? You must have heard about box breathing, right?
Mm,
They ask you to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, and hold again for 4 counts. We are
mm,
doing the same thing when we are dancing.
mm,
There are times when you have to take a long inhale and hold. Probably you've
mm,
taken some kind of pose, posture, Shiva pose. You
mm.
can't keep panting. You're holding your breath. So you see, through
Right.
dance, you're actually doing all of those breathing exercises that are taught as meditative exercises, as
Mm.
calming exercise. So
Brilliant.
I would say Bharatanatyam or any dance form is a meditation.
And this is a beautiful juncture that we are discussing all this. Why? Because you're not only a dancer, but you're a psychologist, you're an NLP practitioner. So you're able to kind of very beautifully weave all these threads together, and the fabric that comes out is beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
Deepika ji, before we end this beautiful conversation, although I don't want to, but yeah, there are time limits. Would you be able to tell, or let's say give some key takeaways to our audience that they can practice, or probably they can explore as a key takeaway from this podcast of ours?
So, one thing I will love to suggest is that everyone starts moving.
Moving.
Yes, it can be any small, short movement. It doesn't
Mm,
have to be a full blown dance performance.
mm,
Firstly, we're not performing,
mm,
right? We're just trying to move our body to release the kind of suppressed emotions that we have.
mm,
So, my suggestion would be we all start moving, whether it is just going out for a walk or a jog or just putting on some music and letting your body sway to it. You don't need
wow,
actions, you don't need any choreographed piece. All you need to
mm,
do is let the music be, close your eyes, and just sway to the music.
mm.
I think that would really help in a lot of
That
ways.
really is.
It will keep your
Yeah.
body fitter, better, calmer, your mind calmer.
And you stay away from this perceived stress and perceived grief.
Yes.
Perfect. What a beautiful conversation it was, Deepika ji. And I thank you so much for giving out so much of knowledge and sharing all that we have spoken. And with the promise that we would be getting back together very soon for a panel discussion. I've already imagined quite a lot of things that we could be, working on. and explore various other aspects that are never spoken about.
Sure. And thank you so much, Mr. Rekhi. Actually, this was one topic that was needed to be discussed.
Absolutely.
And you gave me this platform. So thank you so much for that. And looking forward for more associations with you.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much.